My name is Leena. I am 32. I live alone in a small apartment in Karachi. The house is quiet, too quiet. Sometimes I feel the silence like a heavy blanket on my chest. I am divorced. My husband left 3 years ago. No children, no family nearby. Only the echoes of memories linger. I feel tired. Lonely. Sometimes I wonder if anyone will ever knock on my door again. One rainy evening, I was sitting by the window. The wind was cold, and the streets were empty. A knock came at the door. My heart jumped. No one visits me. I opened it slowly. A woman stood there. She looked tired. Her clothes were wet. Her eyes, deep and sad, met mine. "Please," she whispered, "may I stay here tonight?" Her name was Sarah. She was around 40. She had no home, she said. She spoke softly, almost like she feared being heard. I didn't know why, but I let her in. Something in her sadness mirrored my own. We shared a small dinner. She didn't talk much, but her presence felt comforting. For the first time in years, I didn't feel so alone. Days passed. Sarah stayed longer. She cleaned the house quietly, cooked simple meals, and sometimes, she would sit near me as I drank tea. "You must take care of yourself," she said one morning. Her voice was gentle, but firm. I nodded, feeling warmth I hadn't known in years. We went for small walks. She listened to my stories about my husband, about my loneliness. I listened to hers, too. About a family she had lost, about struggles she had faced. Slowly, a fragile trust grew between us. One evening, as we sat by the window, I noticed her trembling. "Sarah, are you cold?" I asked. She shook her head. "No," she whispered, but her eyes were full of pain. I reached for her hand. It was cold. I held it tightly. For a moment, I felt connected to someone again, as if the empty walls of my house were no longer so hollow. Weeks passed. Life felt a little lighter. I smiled more. I laughed quietly at her stories. She called me Leena auntie, but with a tone that made it feel like family. My house was no longer just a space, it was alive. The air was warmer. The walls whispered stories again. I started believing that perhaps, even after loss, there could be companionship. One night, I came home late from work. The house was silent. Too silent. Sarah was gone. A note lay on the table. "I am sorry," it said. "I cannot stay. I must go." My heart sank. I searched everywhere, but she was nowhere. I sat on the floor, crying softly. I had let her in, and now she was gone. The warmth had left the house again. The cold wind seemed sharper than before. I felt abandoned, as if the world had taken her away from me too. Days turned into weeks. I couldn't understand why she had left. I missed her voice, her soft smile, her gentle hands. One evening, I received a letter. It was from her. She had found a home, a safe place. She had wanted to stay, but she needed to heal herself too. She thanked me for my kindness, for letting her be herself, for letting her rest in my house. My heart broke reading it. But I understood. Sometimes, love is not holding on. Sometimes, love is letting go. I cried again that night. I held the letter close. I realized something important. My heart could hurt and still heal. My house could be empty and still hold memories. I had been given a gift, brief but real. Someone had trusted me. Someone had needed me. That was enough. Months passed. I cleaned the house, painted the walls, and made small changes. The silence was no longer heavy. It was softer, gentler. I remembered Sarah in quiet moments, in the way the sunlight fell across the floor, in the smell of the rain on the window. Life had taught me to accept loneliness and yet find beauty in temporary connections. Sometimes, I hear a soft knock at the door in my dreams. I imagine it is her. I smile, remembering her warmth. My heart aches, but it also feels alive. I have learned that even fleeting love can change a life. Even the woman who stayed only for a little while taught me how to feel again. I am stronger now. My house is quiet, but not lonely. The wind still blows cold, but I am ready. Ready for life, ready for love, even if it is temporary. Ready to open my door again, whenever someone knocks. And if no one ever does, I will remember Sarah and smile. Because even a brief moment of warmth is enough to heal a broken heart.